Total War is a franchise I absolutely love. Being able to travel back in time and turn into Alexander the Great himself and conquer the world is just one of the many great things possible in these games. However, I am also a man of storytelling, and as a good friend of mine would say, immersion. Don't get me wrong, it is possible to an extent. But at times it feels like it is the player who needs to go out of their way to get immersed into their campaigns. For a franchise like this, I don't think that is good. Another major flaw is the fact that most campaigns can feel repetitive. Thankfully, I have a few ideas on how to solve this. Let me also say this rant I'm about to begin isn't only to be about storytelling and immersion, but rather everything I believe should be in every Total War game, but sadly aren't just yet. Starting off simple, a personal wish of mine is to make cinematic movement on the campaign map. I don't know why this isn't in the game already. Like, we have this for battles in the modern titles. And although this is cool and all, why not add it to the campaign itself? This will give narrative creators, like myself and the Magi of Fire, the ability to make cinematic shots in the style of the Cleopatra trailer from Rome 2. It would really improve the content we are able to make. Currently, the best way to mitigate this is by drawing our own custom maps and animate them to our desire. But this is extremely time consuming. Not to forget, you need to do this for every campaign map there is. If you want to have a cinematic campaign experience, that is. I don't have the slightest idea about game design or how hard that would be to make. However, I am certain it is way easier than the rest on this list. Getting connected with your many characters in a campaign is hard. It is possible to get specific traits to the characters though. Some gained through winning battles, others by administrating a town. Yet, once again, it is up to the player himself to go out of their way to read these. But why should they? Usually they don't make a major difference anyway that will change your playstyle. But that is not what I want to talk about. Apart from making the traits more useful, perhaps let ourselves choose the traits. Imagine if there was this button in the main menu called Create Your Character. Imagine if you could finally mold a faction leader to your liking and make him the protagonist, or antagonist if you prefer that. The possibility is there. Take the traits from Three Kingdoms for example. All with their own unique armor, weapons, abilities, buffs and debuffs. Do you want to play as a mix between Kong Rong and Cao Cao? Go ahead. What about the strategic mastermind of Napoleon and the fear of Attila the Hun? If you imagine it, it is yours. Damn it, if you even just think a specific historical character is missing from the game, you can make him yourself. A character of your own choosing. The possibilities are endless. The game would be both more replayable while still being super immersive. A way to balance this could be by giving the different traits a certain value. You will only have a specific moddable amount to spend. Good traits more valuable, costs more, depending on how useful they are, and vice versa, for the negative traits. In principle, just like how you create your factions in Stellaris. I would love to see it. I bet you would as well. The stories for it are endless. For a franchise this focused on battles, I'm surprised the tactical part of it doesn't count for as much as someone like me could hope for. I find the game to pretty much only focus on what units you pick, rather than how you deploy them. Take Warhammer for example. The dreaded Doom stacks are everywhere. I don't really care about how they change it. Make flanking more devastating. Let stamina be way more important than what it is now. Way more. Bring the camera further down so you can't see like a bird, almost like in Bannerlords. Or just don't reveal the units of your opponent. Heck, maybe make them impossible to see at all if they are placed behind another unit. I don't really care how, just change it, please. I am a simple man. Annoying my friends and watching numbers increase is all I need to be happy. And what better way is there to do that than in a massive multiplayer campaign? In Civ 6 you can do it. Same for the Paradox games. So why not here? Because of battles? It shouldn't be. Let's say every player makes their turn at the same time. They have 10 minutes or so to do their things before it ends. If you go to war with an AI faction, fight it yourself. No other players needed. But at some point, you might go to war with another player. Nowadays, battles don't take too long. I record most of my battles from Total War Troy, not lasting any longer than 5 minutes. Give it 2 minutes of loading time and you will have to spend most of your turn. Now you don't have time to invest in infrastructure unless you can delegate the micromanagement to the AI, just like in Rome 1. What about diplomacy? If you are 8 players, they are the only ones you need to worry about. Use Discord perhaps to discuss this, trade, backstabbing and so on. If you think about it, for a few seconds you will quickly realize how much more strategic this becomes. You can't do everything anymore, so choose carefully. This is probably not the best way to do it, but I feel like if I'm asking for something in a game, the least I could do is give an example on how it is done. And CA, if you are interested in creating multiplayer campaigns, but don't know how to make it work, just call me. I have a surplus of ideas on how to make these campaigns a possibility. Heck, I might even make a video on it anyway. We are gonna end this in an easy manner, with something that could be added into any Total War, apart from the Warhammer franchise perhaps, without a problem. I'm thinking of a turns per year slider. Of course, it is something that modders always make available to change through their mods, but the few complications coming with it makes it a bit too annoying to worry about. If just it was part of the game, it would be easier to manage. As said, this last one is nothing major, but that is because I mainly wanted the conversation throughout the Total War community to be about multiplayer campaigns, tactics and custom faction leaders. Those 3 are what I truly want in Total War. They can bring new people to play these games, plus so much more. Now I want to know what you want to add into Total War. Let me know down below in the comments. And that is all I have to say so far. So until the next time everyone, goodbye.